And what was your name?
What are you calling for? Are you a realtor?
No, I'm not a realtor.
Okay. Why do you need to know my name? Can I give you some information on the house?
Yeah, I'd just like to know who I'm dealing with. What's wrong with that? Why are you getting defensive, man?
Because I get realtors that call me that, just waste my time. I'm in the middle of something. I'm on a job site right now, so I just want to get to the point. If you're interested in the house, then let me know.
I'm interested, but you are being rude right now, so.
Just go fuck yourself.
Okay, Chad, so we got another video where these females and men even, they're selling their houses, even families, and they're not really going through the best situation doing it. I'm gonna show y'all.
Update on selling our house because it's been a hot minute. A lot has happened. We were in the 10-day inspection period when the buyer can do all their inspections, get what termite inspection, all that stuff. Their inspector came and was like, hey, the joists under your house, because like they're held up by the little thingies, they look rotted. You need to get that looked at. So a guy came, gave us an estimate, was like, yeah, this is rotted, but by the way, this isn't 3 years of rot. This is like years of rot. Like your inspector that did your house whenever you were buying this was crap. I was like, okay, great. So it's going to be $6,500 to fix it. So we told our buyers, hey, could we just pretty please give you $6,500 out of our profit and you can fix it so we don't have to pay that out of pocket. And they said, yeah, cool, great. Just fix this thing in the backyard too. There's like a line that hangs too low. So we had to contact the electric company, but my dad works for the electric company. So I was like, Dad, can you help me out here? And so we're in the middle of getting all that fixed. I also have an update on us buying a new house. So go to the next part.
Smart though. If you got family or people that work in the business, it makes it a lot easier just for them to fix the things up, and then you just pay off them versus the company having people come in and you spending hundreds of dollars for them to just do crap work again.
So if you're trying to sell your house, do not do what these people did. So I took my clients to the house, we walked through the whole thing, and then they decided to check out the garage. And after a few seconds, my client gives me a funny look and points to the car in the garage. Do you know what's in the car? The sellers are in the back seat of their car with the windows fully rolled up, trying not to make any eye contact and pretending that we're not there. So if you're trying to sell your house, please leave, and definitely do not hide in the back seat of your car. It's just weird.
Now that's wild. I never knew that house realtors, when they're trying to sell your house, basically, some people be in the dang house still, and then that just makes it go downhill. It's like, oh, there are people still living here. They're messing shit up and probably making it dirty as hell, and you never know, man. So I agreed to her. Don't be hiding in the car. That is weird.
So I had a client once call me to evaluate his home. I gave him a number, he thanked me, and then we didn't speak for a couple of years. 2 years later, he called me again. This time he told me he was ready to sell his home. You see, he was a diplomat who was now posted in Germany, and he no longer needed his house in Canada. So my office sent him all the paperwork and we listed his beautiful home. And of course, within a month, we found him a buyer. Everything was going amazing. My buyer and my seller were both very happy, and we were just waiting for the closing date so we could transfer ownership. But just a couple of days before we were supposed to close, I received a call. It was my client's wife. She was hysterical and in tears. And then she told me that her husband, the diplomat, had just died. He had died of a sudden heart attack, and yes, that was horrible, but then I was informed of an even bigger problem. The dead diplomat didn't have a will. And wait, it gets even worse. The diplomat's wife wasn't on the title of the home, meaning she had no right to show up to the closing and transfer ownership. So now we have a buyer who has nowhere to live, and he already sold his condo, and we have a widow with a kid who does not have access to her dead husband's estate. And on top of that, I'm not getting paid. So I knew we had to fix this. I introduced her to a proper lawyer that was going to prove that she was the rightful heir to the estate. So the first thing that she had to prove in front of a judge is that her dead husband had no wills hiding somewhere. Once that was proven to be true, she also had to prove that there was no other person deserving of that estate. And once all that was taken care of, the judge finally gave his stamp of approval and gave her the rights to the estate. And that entire situation took over a year. And as for the buyer, we came up with a deal where he would move in and pay rent as a tenant, and all the rent paid would be deducted at the closing. At the end of all this, I finally got paid. And you say realtors don't deserve their commission? Bite me. What's really crazy here is that if I didn't help this woman, she'd be living on the streets with her child because she was fully dependent on her husband. This woman was living in a la-di-da world where her husband took care of everything. She had no idea about his finances, no idea if she was even on title, no idea if he had a will, no idea if he had money hidden anywhere. She was screwed. So the lesson here is, if you decide to become a housewife, make sure you're protected and you have a plan B, because if something happens to him, you're fucked.
Worst thing, to be a wife or lose your spouse and then at the most of it not even have a place, not even get lent down anything. So you're just stuck figuring things out while they're gone with all their personals. You don't get a hold of none of that. That is pretty sad, man.
I think I fucked up. I think I fucked up because I've invested $200,000 into this house and I can't sell it. I can't sell it. I need y'all's help to tell me exactly what it is that's wrong with this damn house, because I'm going crazy. So I bought this house in July of 2023. It took me about 6 months because we were held up with some permitting issues on getting the renovation done. Put it on the market in December of 2023. It's July. It's still on the market. I don't know why, because it's a really cute house. Can y'all please tell me what's going on? Let me show you. Let me show you. Okay, so this is the kitchen. This kitchen, you have a giant island. It's like a 10-foot island. Beautiful pendant lighting. 48-inch gas range. We got Bosch appliances in here. I have cool level 4 quartz countertops. A beautiful butler's pantry. Coffee bar area with some Zalige tile. Look at this tile. This tile right here is like $25 a foot. This is a 1-story house. It is 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms on a half-acre lot. Look, just look. We ain't got no corners. We added this door, which is a panoramic door, so it collapses and opens up fully to the backyard. Huge, huge backyard. Here's another bedroom. Here's a little bathroom off the kitchen. Oh, and then I did this cool thing on this panel wall. This little like hidden door situation. Look at this, look at this. See? It takes you to the bedrooms. Bathroom. Like, he ain't got no corners. Then look at the master. It's a master, it's big, it's off the little sunroom area over here. Look at this bathroom. Gorgeous primary suite, big old shower, big old bathtub, custom vanity situation, his and hers closets. I'm at a loss. When you're flipping houses, don't just think because you can hook it up, you do good quality work, it may be in a good neighborhood. If the area in and of itself is not super desirable, like, you can get yourself in trouble. So a couple of different lessons that I want you guys to learn from this house that I apparently need to learn for myself. This house is really nice. This neighborhood is really nice, but it is in an area that is not considered super duper nice. And we fucked around and found out, because we were like, no, surely if we get a house in that neighborhood and we hook it up the way that we hook it up, like, somebody will buy it. And the problem is, at this price point, which this house, just to give you all the numbers, was listed at like $640,000 when we first put it on the market, and it's now down to $575,000. People at a higher price point have options. And if that area ain't super desirable, that area may not be one of the options that they choose. They may not even think to look in that area, because this house 100% would be like $800,000, $900,000, like 4 miles up the road. So please, please, please consider as a lesson when you're flipping houses to understand a little bit more about the market, a little bit more about the area, and not just stay specific on the house. What do y'all think? Like, what could I have done better with this? Is there anything y'all didn't like from what I showed you this house? I don't know. Like, at this point, can somebody come burn it down? Because it's costing me $3,600 a month. Fuck me. Okay, bye.
Nah, see, that's sketchy as hell. Just seeing any of that stuff and then having to deal with that type of situations, it just tells y'all, man, it's not as simple.
This one time we bought a house to flip, and it was a revenge sale from the wife, like having revenge against the husband. I want to tell you all about this crazy ass story. So I'm a 7-figure house flipper in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I flip houses with my husband, but I'm also a realtor. Like, that's my roots into getting into the real estate business. So I get a call a couple of years back from a lady who wants to sell her house with her husband. She was really, really insistent on getting the process and getting the ball rolling really quickly. So we got the whole process started, and then nothing. Like, she went crickets. She literally disappeared off my radar. I just thought she was somebody kicking tires and wasting my time for 2 years. I did not hear from this woman for 2 years. She pops back up on the scene, texts me out of the blue, and was like, hey, do you remember me? You were going to list my house with my husband, and then something happened, and we weren't able to do it. Anyway, I'm back, and I need you to come by, like, ASAP. By this time, because it's a couple of years down the road, we are full-blown, like, into our flipping business. I'm not really selling houses anymore because I really, like, coach, trade, and mentor realtors instead of selling houses myself. So I go over to her house, and she's like, hey, I've been following you, all these years on Instagram. I see that you flip houses now. I think that route might be better for us than us actually, like, selling our house and you listing it and acting as our realtor. So we go through the whole house, we go through everything, we go over the numbers, and I'm like, this is what I would list it for if I was going to list it, but then this is what I would sell it for if I'm going to actually buy it as a flipper, and obviously that number is going to be way lower. So I wholly expected for her to go for this other number, but she didn't. So she's like, no, we're going to go with the other number because we need to get a move on this really, really fast. Like, we got to go. everything was kind of weird during the entire walkthrough as well. I noticed that, like, they weren't really talking much. So I go on and I'll be nosy because I'm a nosy bitch. And I'm like, okay, well, if that's the route we're going to go, I'll go ahead and get the offer sent over to you guys. But tell me, like, where are you guys going to be moving? Because now I got my realtor hat on, too. Because I'm like, if y'all selling this house, y'all got to go somewhere else. So maybe I can get a commission out of that and help y'all move somewhere. And very quickly, she was like, oh, no, girl. We ain't moving anywhere together because, no, we're getting divorced. And I was like, oh, okay, well then do you need somewhere to live and then he needs somewhere to live? Because now I got 2 clients. I can hook up both of y'all with somewhere to stay. So meanwhile, he's over in the corner looking like a sad puppy because obviously she's like steadfast on we getting divorced, and he kind of don't look like he wants to get a divorce, but he's like, I got to roll with the punches. And it obviously looked like he was in trouble. So anyway, I go on through the process and I'm like, okay, whenever I get home, make it back to the office, then I'll write up the offer and get it over to you. I need your email address. I need his email address so I can send it over to both of you guys to sign. She's like, yeah, whatever. And like, shoots me out the door. And that was that. About 5 minutes later though, she calls me and she's like, hey, you know how you said you're going to send the offer to both of us? Only send the offer to me. Only send it to my email. And I'm like, but y'all married. So I got to send it to both of y'all because the house is in both of y'all's names. And she was like, no, the house is only in my name. I bought this house before I married him. This is technically my house. And yes, while he's lived in it as this being his homestead, you ain't got to send it to him. And I'm like, but I do have to send it to him because both of you guys have to sign off on this or this could become an issue with the title company, blah, 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 right? She was like, oh, no. She was like, what you need to understand is this. He got caught cheating. He got caught cheating in my house. And so he has to pay for his decisions. And one of the ways that he's going to pay is this house is getting sold and he's not getting any of the proceeds. I'm like, no, we can't do that, ma'am. Like, that's illegal in Texas. It's community property state. Even though this house was yours when you bought it, if he's lived there and it's been his homestead for at least 6 months, then he gets like half and he has to sign off on the title. And that's just how this works. She was like, don't worry. I already talked to an attorney at a title company. And she was like, in the divorce decree, because he got caught cheating and he felt so bad, he didn't have anything to do with the divorce decree. So I wrote up the entire divorce decree and I made sure that the clause in the divorce decree says that I'm granted the house, and he just signed it. He didn't even read it. He just signed it. So he doesn't even realize he signed all of the rights over to me, and that's that. So send me the offer so I can get it signed. Thank you. I sent the offer over. She sent me a copy of the divorce decree. We submitted the offer and the divorce decree to the title company. Title came back clear. All was well. But then she called me and she was like, I know this is a flip. I know y'all are probably going to take it down to the studs and fix everything. But if there's anything in particular that you want me to fix, like, I'll fix it. Like, the water heater isn't great. This isn't great. This is wrong with the house. Like, we'll fix those couple of items. And I'm like, girl, you don't need to spend your money. She was like, my money? It's not going to be my money. It's going to be his money. Like, he's going to pay to get it fixed. And so we got a new water heater. So anyway, yeah, we made like $92,000 on that house.
That's a win, not gonna lie. If you get the realtor to spend the money, you getting a W basically. That's a W in my book.
So peep game, Walmart is selling barn-style tiny homes for around $10,000. This is definitely going to be a great investment for the everyday average Joe, being for the fact that a lot of people isn't going to be able to afford homes going into the future. Now, if you do your research, the average American has to make roughly $113,000 a year to afford a regular everyday home, guys. And it's going to continue to be higher and higher as inflation continues to creep up. So this is definitely going to be a game changer for the ones that don't and can't reach that threshold to be able to afford a home. I see a lot of people going to be buying these homes, these tiny homes, because a lot of people is going to start to see, as things start to become very, very expensive, people is going to start doing a lot more with a lot less. Meaning, you know, tiny homes, make sure they buying things that they need, all that good stuff. But anyways, you already know, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm already thinking in the investment standpoint. I could take $100,000, buy 10 of these, and rent them out for $400, $500 a month, whatever the case may be. And you already know, man, make the money back like that. So you already know what to do, man. I love y'all. We out, and God bless you. We go.
Not gonna lie to you, man. That I never sold a house, but that just sounds crazy. These stories that I see and these people just sharing them, it just tells you, man, these people get away with it. But like and comment and subscribe. What y'all think on that?
Well, guys, this wasn't the update we were hoping for, but we're gonna sell the Levy house. So let's talk about it. So let's just address some of the main questions that I've been getting about us deciding to sell the Levy house. The question we get asked the most is, why are we leaving? So we thought we would really like living out in the middle of the country, away from everything. We thought we could handle being pretty far from things, but you don't realize how much you love convenience until you no longer have it. So it sucks when I have to drive 35 minutes to go anywhere. So that's a big reason, but we also just don't feel home here, and the area for us is just not what we were hoping and expecting it would be. Not saying that anybody else wouldn't love it here, but it's just not for us, and that's okay. When is the house going to go on the market? We are still not even finished with the house, and we still have a lot of little things to do yet, so as soon as we're finished, the house is going to go up on the market. That could still be even a few months yet. It depends how quickly we can get it done. Where will you guys go after the Levy house? Are you staying in Louisiana? No, we're leaving Louisiana, and we will most likely end up in North Carolina. We would like to be within 30 minutes of the water, so that is what we're hoping for. Was it always your plan to fix it and sell it? No. We really hoped that this was for our forever home. If we were going to just do a quick flip, we would have went about it, one, in a cheaper way, and two, I wouldn't have put all these personal touches all over the house and added wallpaper and hand painted Colton's mural on the wall. So no, this wasn't what we intended, but it is what it is. How much are you listing the house for when you sell it? So we have already reached out to a very popular local realtor in the area, and we have been discussing everything with her, and she advised us, after doing research and what our house has to offer and comparing it to other houses on the market, to list it at $350,000. Stephen and I put blood, sweat, and tears into this house, just the two of us, and whoever buys it next is absolutely lucky to have it. Just because we don't want to live here in this area does not mean this isn't the perfect place for another family. We're going to chalk this up as an adventure that we did with our children. We made memories here. We improved the community by redoing this house that just would have sat abandoned on the side of the road. So we're looking at this in a positive way. We're not stuck here, and we'll still be able to sell this house and buy another house outright. Another thing we get asked a lot is, are you going to buy another fixer-upper? That is not the plan. We would never buy another one gutted to the studs like this. It was just a lot for me and Steven. But as you guys know, I love to make my house homey, and I love to put my personal touch on my house. So there will definitely be either wallpaper getting added or the walls getting painted, maybe backsplash. So it's not like we're not going to do anything to our new house. And lastly, are you going to stay on TikTok? Absolutely. We're not going anywhere. This was just a small part of our journey, and it's just not where we were meant to be. And that's totally okay, but we are definitely going to take you guys along for the process of moving and finding a new home and everything else. So don't leave us. We're not done here on TikTok yet. We also wanted to say thank you to all our dedicated followers that support us in this decision. I know everyone loved the Levy house. I love the Levy house. I wish I could take the house with me, but the support has been wonderful, and we thank you guys, and we're excited to bring you guys along for our next journey. So without further ado, I will try and add some clips of the beautiful view from the Levy house, and if anyone's interested in purchasing it in the next few months, let us know. Send us a message.
Okay, y'all seen all these videos. This is just videos to share, and you can see this and be prevented from this happening to you. Because not gonna lie, this life It's very cruel, and they will get over you if you let it happen. So just be careful, man. Let me know y'all stories down below, and also like, subscribe, and comment down below. What y'all ever sell a house?